One of the toughest things to do is getting braid on a spinning reel. Now that we're starting to use these braided lines, which have very low diameter, a lot of casting distance, people need them to put it on spinning reels, and it needs to be done right. There are a couple of tricks to this. The first trick is we like to load a little bit of mono backing on the reel. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thread my line through the first 3 guides. I'm not even going to bother using the tip for the moment. I'm going to get my reel. I'm going to remember to open the bail. And I'm basically just tie a knot that's going to cinch up on the reel. It's just a really simple knot, just a few turns through a loop. Pull it tight and cinch it right on the spool as tight as I can. Okay? I'm going to trim this knot, and I'll be ready for the next step. I'm going to take my spool and drop it down. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm loading 80-pound braid onto a reel, and I'm going to use some 50-pound mono backing for it. So this is actually 80-pound spider wire ultra cast. I'm going to be using this for using pitch baits for marlin, big yellowfin tuna, jigging, just about anything you can imagine, but with some very heavy stuff. That's why I've got the 50-pound backing. So I'm going to close my bail, and I'm just going to take a few turns. I'm going to put like 10 or 15 turns on here. Just kind of cover the base of the reel. At this point, I'm ready to trim my line. And now I'm ready for the next step where I'm going to attach the braid to the mono. So I'm going to thread through the remainder of the guides with my mono. And now I'm going to use an Albright knot to attach my braid to my main line. And actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to double the line first. So I've got double line. I'm going to make a little loop with my mono. I'm going to push the double line through the loop, pinch it, wrap 8 or 10 times around the loop. And by the way, you can find this knot on our website at anyangling.com. It's really important this knot is tied well. Not a hard knot to tie, but it does need to be tied right. I'm going to pull it back through. And I'm going to carefully tighten all of it up at once so that so the wraps don't fall over themselves. Just tighten that up. And pull it tight. And now I'm ready to load the reel. So now I'm going to take the spool and I'm going to want to orient the spool so the line comes off the same way it's going to go on the reel. It's going to kind of reduce the amount of twist I have. The other option would be to basically just roll this line out, like maybe put this line in a bucket of water in a box. But we're just going to pull it right off the top of the spool in this case. I'm not as really worried about twist because I'm going to stretch this line out when I finally get it on the water and make sure I get all the twist out of it. So I've made sure, one of the things I've done is I pulled this knot up really well. I've got a little burning tool, which is actually going to let me burn the knot clean. There it goes. And I'm going to trim the mono side of it. And by the way, this nice little knot is going to slip through the guides really easily. And that's important. And that's a really clean little knot. Kind of trim it as close as I can. Test it one more time. And I got a little bit of double line still left here. I want to clip that away. And like I said, these burning tools are great because what it does is it really makes sure that you get a good, clean cut on your ends. And that's a good looking knot right there. And I have a lot of security that this is going to be a knot that's in the reel and do what it's supposed to do. I'm just going to take a little more tag off of here. There we go. So now I'm going to load the reel up and just get it started. And what I've done is since I've threaded it through the whole rod, I'm able to keep the line with a little bit of tension using the guides in the rod. And I'll be able to fill this right up. Now, this tip and more you can find on our website at neangling.com.